Today we bid a fond farewell to historic Foreman Field, an iconic symbol of Norfolk and Hampton Roads for more than 8 decades. The jewel of sports in Virginia when it was erected in 1936, Foreman Field was the largest stadium in the Commonwealth with a capacity of 17,500. The venue's unforgettable clamshell bleachers and arched facade stood on the grounds of the newly founded campus of the Norfolk Division of the College of William and Mary, which would later become Old Dominion University. The opening game in Foreman Field saw a matchup from the mother school, the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, and the University of Virginia. Named after A.H. Foreman, who helped form ODU and find the money to build the stadium, Foreman Field was home to the Norfolk Division's football team for just the last 5 of the Braves' 11 seasons before the program was disbanded in 1940. After the football program was discontinued, the stadium went on to host numerous celebrated events, including the annual Oyster Bowl starting in 1946. This charity football game often featured some of the best teams in college football. Many of the players who played in the Oyster Bowl went on to star in professional football, such as Ernie Davis, Bruce Smith, Don Meredith, Roger Staubach, and Fran Tarkenton, just to name a few. Today's Oyster Bowl marks the 69th time this charity game has been played, the 16th time VMI has participated, and the 8th time for the Monarchs since ODU began hosting the game in 2011. More than $3 million in proceeds have been raised for the Shriners Hospitals for Children via the Oyster Bowl. The Norfolk Neptunes professional football team called Foreman Field home during the 1960s and 1970s, when the Washington Redskins would also host preseason games at the stadium. Norfolk State University played its home football games in Foreman Field during the 80s and 90s before moving to their own on-campus facility. The biggest crowd Foreman Field ever hosted was a jam-packed Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young concert in 1974 that saw more than 33,000 people line the field and the stands, and some even hung from the light poles to get a better view of the concert. Foreman Field has also been host to countless high school games, which were often packed when rivals Maury and Granby played on Thanksgiving Day, including 1966, when unbeaten Granby defeated previously unbeaten Maury. A week later, the Comets won a state championship on the same field. It was also the home to ODU's national powerhouse field hockey program for more than a quarter century. In 2000, Beth Anders won her 9th and final national championship here at Foreman Field, defeating the University of North Carolina 3-1. Starting in 2009, Foreman Field began its final chapter as the home to the ODU football program, restarted through efforts of local supporters such as Sonny Stallings and now President John R. Broderick, who played a key role behind the scenes. After a $25 million renovation, including the south end zone complex and the adjoining parking deck, the ODU football program played its first game in Foreman Field in 69 years when the Monarchs defeated Shawan in front of a sellout crowd. The Monarchs would go on to sell out 60 consecutive games over 9 seasons. The past decade of ODU football has seen some memorable games. The opening day win over Shawan.
DeMarco going deep. Wide open is Markwell Thomas. Put it in the books, everybody. The first touchdown in ODU history goes deep. DeMarco to Thomas for 6.
Our final score, Old Dominion 36, Shawan 21. Monarchs win in their comeback game. Great stuff for Coach Wilder, for the team, for the administrators, for the fans, for everybody involved who worked so hard to make this evening come off. It's nice to see it end in a win.
The first win over a ranked team in the FCS and the rise of Taylor Heineke. The first postseason game against Norfolk State. Wins over rivals William and Mary and JMU. Taylor Heineke's record-setting day against New Hampshire.
730 yards, 5 touchdowns in the air. He also led him in rushing, by the way, 65 yards and another touchdown on the ground.
An overtime upset of Louisiana Tech. A bowl-eligible victory over Marshall. And who could forget the shock wave that occurred September 22nd of this year when the Monarchs pulled off the biggest upset in school history, notching their first win over a Power 5 and ranked opponent, knocking off Virginia Tech's Hokies 49-35 as the crowd rushed the field. It's been an unforgettable run, and we'll all take fond memories of this place with us as we leave tonight and embark on a new beginning. So let's say good night one last time to Foreman Field as we prepare to turn out the lights for the final time.